But God testimonies are a never-ending story because after you open your heart and decide to walk with Him, God butts in every day after. Thank you, Jesus. My testimony begins around 6 years of age, when my hair made me the target for every kind of bullying known at that time. From being called names, to being spit on, to having my hair pulled, to being lured to another child's birthday party, only to be told I was a freak and made to leave. I was molested by a family member, stealing my innocence and my ability to trust. I then burned down part of a mountain preserve, causing unending nightmares, finally culminating in my putting a gun in my mouth, only serving to make me feel even more worthless when I couldn't pull the trigger. I had just turned 9 years old. The next 9 years found me searching for God, only to be told that I was a sinner and I was going to hell and there was nothing I could do to get into heaven. I would continue to be rejected by both girls and boys in every form of contact, friends or otherwise, because I was still that freak that didn't fit in. I turned to drugs and sexual immorality because I figured that would be the only way that anyone was ever going to love me. The next 13 years found me becoming a functioning alcoholic, drug addict. I was nothing more than a bedpost notch for any guy who hadn't had sex with a redhead. I had a second contemplation with suicide, another failure to go through with it, not wanting to live anymore because there was just no purpose, and unable to take myself out. This went on for the next several years, and at 31 years old, I found myself single, pregnant, working a construction job with no insurance. I accepted my baby daddy's offer to move in with him and spent the next 12 years trying to hide the hell I was living in for my daughter and stay as clean as I could. That was 10 years ago. My mom passed away. I left said baby daddy, moved back in with my family, jumped into another bad relationship, out of that, and into a marriage while I was still a complete mess. Everything quickly escalated out of control. Everybody wanted to control everything their way. The family was ripped apart, and I basically headed for a bar and probably some unspeakable behavior with irreversible consequences. But God, He stepped in. He led me to a church, 5 of them to be exact. But the one He whispered to me to pull into that night has been my home ever since. God truly gives us all the answers if we let Him lead us to where we need to be. He equips us with everything we will ever need to navigate whatever the enemy or life puts in our path. Just listen. My red hair taught me to be resilient and appreciate the differences that make everything unique. Although I had my innocence and my ability to trust stolen from me, I was able to recognize and avoid a much more dangerous situation later on. God didn't let me pull that trigger. Being rejected by my classmates taught me compassion, and although I continued in the alcohol, drugs, and sexual immorality, God didn't let me swallow those pills. He was even faithful and good to me before I was a Christian, by blessing me with that red-haired, blue-eyed baby girl that I asked for when I found out I was pregnant. I didn't earn it, and I certainly didn't deserve it. But He loved me and gave us His gifts freely anyway, just like salvation. All we have to do is ask and then live it. We are still going to have things thrown on our path. Even some of the things that I've experienced recently have been devastating for my family, but I'm still here sharing my testimony because of those but God moments. The daily struggles may be real, but so is God and His divine plan to give you a hope and a future. And that, my folks, is Jeremiah 29:11. My name is Melissa Kisner, and that is my but God moment.